Good evening, and we are live, and I am super duper excited because I have some experts that are on the line with me. So we are live on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube, and if you can see this message, go ahead and send us a message letting us know where you are logging in from, what city, what state, and or what country might you be logging in from. We would certainly like to know just where you're logging in from, who might have tagged you to this. As a matter of fact, if you know anyone, and listen, let me make this statement first. We are not here to make any medical claims. All right, but we can testify and we can tell you the benefits of what we're going to talk about tonight. All right. So we don't make any medical claims. We are not doctors. We are not saying that we're here to cure or mitigate any diseases or illnesses or anything like that. But we are 100% going to give you the facts. Okay. So write that word in the chat, the facts. What I need you to do is I need you all to tag and share. Tag and share and let everybody know that everyone, I don't care who they are. Here's the people that need to be listening to this presentation tonight. If you've got a spine and if you've got skin, okay? Those are the people that need to be listening to this presentation tonight. Do you have a spine and do you have skin, right? And I would hope you do have both of those things. So again, I want to say good evening. Happy Sunday to you all. Very excited to be here with you all. And I want to make sure that this is live on Instagram as well. It is now live. All right. So as you're logging on again, welcome to Instagrammers. Let us know where you're logging in from, what city, what state, and or what country. And I need to say this again, that we are not here to make any medical claims. We are simply here to testify. But I need everybody, if you're listening to me right now, if you are listening and you've got a spine or you know somebody that has a spine or skin, then I need you to tag 5 people and comment done. Right? Tag 5 people and comment done. Can you do that for us? Tag 5 people and comment done. So I'm going to go ahead and hurry up because we do have a guest that is actually in the middle of entertaining some guests in her home, but she was like, oh yeah, I'm in because this is a subject that's very dear and near to her heart. And like I said, we don't make any medical claims, but we can testify. But what we're getting ready to talk about tonight has saved her life. Simply, for real. Like, it's not a joke, right? So you need to get more people on here. Tag and share, tag and share, tag and share as we bring to the line the expert for this evening, right? None other than our girl, Karen Rogers. And I'm going to go ahead and also bring up Tedra Gordon out of Philadelphia so that she'll just be in the studio with us. But Karen, so excited that you said yes to getting on here tonight. Can you let everybody know who you are, where you're from, and why is CBD and its family members, right? So why are you so fond of that particular product?
My name is Karen Curtis Rogers, and I live in Lubbock, Texas, and we are very cold right now. It's about 11 degrees outside, so we're trying to stay warm. Okay, just a little brief snippet about my background. I worked in the medical field for around 20 years, so I am a firm believer in medicine and in doctors. I think that they have a huge purpose in our life and serve a huge purpose for us. But it was 10 years ago, in 2014, I faced a health crisis. And I had always been as healthy as a horse. I'd never had any medical issues. I was very active. And so this really hit me from out of the blue. And what happened is I got hit with what they call an autoimmune storm. A lot of y'all out there probably are familiar with autoimmune conditions, and have heard, that's been kind of a catchphrase over the past 10 to 15 years. Well, it went from me being healthy to me being not. The first indication was I developed an irregular heartbeat. It happened at 1 o'clock in the morning one night, and my heart was beating very irregularly, and then it would stop. And then all of a sudden, boom, 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 and start beating again, beating really fast. This really concerned me because I've never had any cardiac problems, but people in my family had. And I thought, oh no, the family things are starting to catch up to me and they're going to hit me now. And my son was asleep. My husband was asleep. I just went and took an aspirin, started trying to cough and get my heart back into rhythm. I thought maybe it'll correct itself. It'll go away, but it didn't. It got worse. And so it got to the point where I was having a little bit of shortness of breath. And I went in and I woke up my husband and I told him what was going on. And I said, I think I'm going to have to go to the ER. We lived 30 miles away from the closest hospital. So we load up my then 7-year-old son, and my husband was driving and I was in the passenger seat. And on the way to the hospital for that 30 miles, I started feeling like something's happening to me. This is it. I might not make it out of this. It was that scary. I could feel a lot of pressure on my chest, and the heart just would not go back into rhythm. And it was beating so fast, so fast. I was sweating. I felt like I was in a race, but I was sitting still. And so we get to the ER. I stayed in what they call AFib, which is irregular heartbeat. I stayed in AFib for 8.5 hours. They were about to do that cardioversion on me where they shock your heart back into rhythm. I scared myself out of that. That's the bad part about working in the medical field. You know a little too much. And even though you know you're going to be asleep, technically when it happens, you know what's going to happen. I was scared to pieces. And so somehow I went back into normal rhythm. But that was just the symptoms. There had to be something underneath that had caused it. Nobody knew what it was. I didn't know what it was. They couldn't tell by the initial test what it was. The next day, because of all of the blood work that was drawn in the ER, they found out that my thyroid levels were just completely, totally out of whack.
Mm.
I had what was called autoimmune thyroiditis. Well, your thyroid gland, and even being in the medical field, I'd never really thought of this. Your thyroid gland even controls the electrical impulses in the rhythm of your heart. That's thrown me into that irregular heartbeat. But that's a really scary thing when you're faced with all of that. I was saying my goodbyes to my husband and my son on the way to the hospital.
Mm.
Okay, so after that, what began, and I know a lot of your listeners out there are going to relate to this, because if you've ever been in a situation like this, or you've had something happen and they can't quite figure out what it is or what to do, you get in that vicious cycle of going to specialist to specialist to specialist. All of a sudden, your calendar gets full of monthly visits. And you go in, you tell your story, the doctors and nurses write it down, and they just kind of, okay, let's try this. Let's run this test. Let's send you over here. Let's do this scan. Let's do that, and so you feel like a guinea pig, and nobody can pinpoint it or get the answers. Well, after a year from the original problem and me being placed on some medications to help with my cardiac health and also with my thyroid, a new problem arose. All of a sudden, my joints start shutting down. Okay, at that point, I had an 8-year-old son. And I thought, I can't do this. I can't be the mom that's on the sideline. I was sitting down all day. I couldn't move. I couldn't stand up. If I went to Walmart on those concrete floors, or in Home Depot where they just had the concrete floors, or at the mall, 5 minutes in, I would be in such severe pain I could almost, there were many times I did cry. And I would just have to tell whoever I was with, I'm sorry, I have to go sit down, or I'm sorry, I have to go to the car. And, it was really scary, because the thought process occurred that this is how the rest of my life was going to be. I went from being healthy, active, athletic, the mom who was involved with everything, to just, it was just like screeching brakes. And I wasn't willing to accept that. So I go through all of these tests, all of these specialists, really no answers. And I thought, I've got to get some answers. We ran some more tests. I did something I shouldn't have done. I went to my doctor and I told him, I think it's one of my medicines. He said, no, it's not. Your medicine won't do that. And I said, well, I stopped my medicine 2 weeks ago and I'm feeling better. Karen, I can't believe you did that. I was like, well, I had to figure out, nobody else was figuring it out. I had to figure out on my own if it was that. Sure enough, one of the medicines was responsible for causing an inflammatory process and making me worse. And it triggered an arthritic response in my joints. So
Mm,
even though I stopped that medicine, the damage was already done.
mm.
So
Hold on, Karen. Say that again. The damage
the
what? The
damage
damage.
was already done. There was no going back. So at that point, I thought, I'm going to have to find my own answers. So I turned to the internet. I started researching. One thing kept popping up. I mean, out of all the natural holistic remedies, and mind you, this was in 2015. I kept hearing about CBD and about hemp and all this. Well, I still to this day, I've never smoked a joint in my life. If it ever becomes legal in Texas, I might do it just for the experience, because I'm a firm believer now in the power of cannabis, any
Right.
kind of cannabis. And so, but I kept hearing about this CBD. My parents were still alive at that time, and I thought, man, if they thought I was doing something bad or wrong, I'd still get a spanking or get grounded. I only lived a block and a half from them.
Right.
Even though my dad was older, he could still catch me. So. But I did more research and I found out it had all the benefits of cannabis or marijuana, but it didn't have the psychoactive elements. So it wouldn't make me high. And it was legal. According to the federal law, it was legal. So I thought, okay, I can do this. So I started looking for it. And that was a problem in of itself. Because once you hear about it and you hear about all of these people saying, oh, I'm using CBD oil and it's helping me. Then you try to find it. And that's not even the hard part. The hard part is finding a trusted source. I didn't
Mhm.
know where to get it. So I went to a head shop because I was afraid to buy it online. I thought maybe somebody will see that I bought it online and I'll get arrested. I didn't know anything about it at that point. But I even went to Colorado, met a guy who had a distillery there, and he taught me initially what I needed to know. He said, what you need to look for is something that is very pure, has the least amount of ingredients as possible. You just need your CBD, the extract of the CBD, a carrier oil, and go with unflavored if you can. If not, if you have to have a flavor, make sure it's a natural flavor. So once I did that, I found this. I started taking it. I started feeling some improvement. It wasn't immediate though. It
Mm,
wasn't immediate.
mhm.
And meanwhile, my sister, who's here now, she called me and she was like, "What are you doing in Colorado?" I said, "I'm trying to find some CBD oil. I thought I had to go to Colorado to get it." She goes, "Why?" "I'm taking one, and you can go through the company that I'm with." I was like, "Oh, okay." She said, "It's supposed to be really good." I researched the ingredients and it was good. So I started that oil and it began to slowly work. And within 3 weeks, I was not feeling anxious. I was sleeping better. Honestly, the first night I slept all night, I woke up the next morning and it scared me. I
Mm,
thought, what did I miss? I couldn't believe I was out all night because I was used to waking up so many times during the night,
right.
just in pain. uh my swelling started to go down in my knees. And keep in mind, me who had been athletic and active, all of a sudden, and I'm not vain, but everybody likes their body to look decent. My legs were like this, like I'd been riding a horse for 50 years. My legs were bowed from the arthritis.
Mm,
Okay, so I start taking it, and the inflammation starts to go away, the swelling goes away, the pain starts to go away. But the biggest thing was people started noticing the difference. My results were visible.
mm,
And so everybody started asking me about it. That's how I got into network marketing. I had never been in network marketing before, and I was giving people the corporate website, and then finally a light went off, and I thought, oh, you know what? I could probably, let people know through me and maybe make a little bit off of this. And that's what got
wow.
me into network marketing. Okay, so I started telling people about it. I started getting more educated about it. And through this process, a lot of people were coming to me for advice because they were seeing me online talk about it. They were seeing me in person talk about it. And I get a lot of the same questions over the past few years. I've gotten a lot of the same questions from people. First of all, is it legal? Yes, it's legal. The kind of oil that we carry is broad spectrum. It has 0 THC. Yeah, it will not get you high. You could drink a whole case of this stuff and it would not get you high. Okay, and in 2014, a federal farm bill was passed that stipulated as long as CBD contains 0.3% or less of THC, it's federally legal. And they really put an exclamation point on it in 2018 when they revised the Farm Bill and they were clearer about the language regarding the legality of hemp derived CBD. So, yes, it's legal. Okay. And they want to know, well, what if I get drug tested at work? Can I take this? Yes, as long as it's broad spectrum. You don't want to take anything that's full spectrum or anything that has THC in it because it's metabolized by the liver. It can build up in your system and it can throw a positive on a drug screen, but you're safe with us because ours is broad spectrum. Anybody can take it and it'll be safe to be tested, whether it's at work or school or whatever the case may be. Okay. Then I get this all the time. Okay, is this snake oil? How does it help so many different things? I hear you talking about
Right.
this, that, and the other, and it helps that. Are you lying? Or, what is the deal? I'm like, no, I'm not lying because what CBD does, it's something that our bodies need. Most of us are deficient in CBD. And the only way that we can get that is to take an external type of CBD that's plant based, that's CBD oil, CBD tinctures. And so when we replenish our body with that, when we supplement our body with that, it does something really beautiful because CBD cannabinoids that are from hemp, the plant, are a God given thing. God designed these things for us to use as food and medicine. Even I'm not making a medical claim. I'm telling you what God said. He gave us this as food and medicine.
It's in the Bible.
Yes, it's in the Bible in red. And so we need it. Our bodies need it, and when we introduce it into our system, it triggers something to start balancing out what we call our ECS. That's our endocannabinoid system, the system inside our body that responds to CBD. We have a lot of little receptors that are all over our body. And so it goes there and it starts firing up those receptors and helping them to work more efficiently. And as a result, a lot of your other body systems start to level out and balance out. Some of the body systems that are affected positively by CBD supplementation are your endocrine system, your hormonal system, your reproductive system, your circulatory system, your respiratory system, gastrointestinal system, skeletal system, muscular system, connective tissue, your neurological system, and your skin.
Mm.
So, and I'm sure I probably left something out, but if you have a system in your body, I can tell you CBD is going to help it. And, the majority of our illness is caused by a process of inflammation. The majority of illnesses are born from inflammation. And you can get inflammation anywhere. Have you ever heard of a medical term called itis, ITIS? You think about all of these different, words that have itis on the end of them. Itis is inflammation. So if you got something with itis in it, you need CBD.
And if
And
there's pain, Karen, what I know, and I'm not a medical professional, but if there's pain, there's inflammation.
right, right. That's the source. And so I can't tell you what a difference this has made. And I'll tell you why I'm with this company. I was with another company, but because I wrecked this, and I've never considered myself a salesperson, I fell into this. It was a happy accident. I found a way that I could work with people and help them. And when I find something that works and when I find something is good, I consider it a sin if I don't tell people about it. I feel responsible. I'm not keeping that to myself. I want to tell people, I want to help them. But with that said, there comes a big responsibility for me to make sure that whatever I talk about is good. And all CBD is not created equally. The very first thing that you have to do is you have to find a trusted source. You're not going to find that at a head shop. You're going to go in and you're going to ask them, I need CBD. And they're like, okay, what flavor do you want? And so you need to find somebody like us who do this to help people and who are concerned about your welfare enough that we research it and we want to know how it works so we can pass that information on to you so we can help you so you can get the most out of this as possible. So you got to find a trusted source. And I wanted to make sure that whatever I put my name behind, if I'm associated with anybody or any company or any product, y'all, my friends and my family members are the one who buy this from me. It better be good. If it's not, I'm going to have to answer to them. So when I heard about this CBD, I can't say it's the best, but what I can say is it's the best I've ever tried. And I've tried a lot. And the thing that makes the difference with ours is the way that it is produced. It's produced with a process called micellization. Now, the guy who developed this won't tell me how that's done. He won't give away his company secret. I'm like, I'm not going to tell anybody, but he probably has seen me enough to know that I would. But he wouldn't tell me. But I do know what it does is it doesn't use chemicals or solvents.
Nope.
It extracts it in a form of magnetization. And the way they do it is it draws out the very smallest molecule of CBD we can get. It's called a picometer. It's even smaller than the nanometers that you hear about. And because these molecules are so small, that makes them more readily absorbable into your body. So if you put a few drops under your tongue, leave it there, let it kind of marinate a little bit, it's going to absorb through the lining of your mouth and get into your bloodstream. Now, the carrier that we use, this makes another big difference. The carrier that we use is an MCT, and that enables it to cross the blood-brain barrier. If it's in any other type of carrier oil, more than likely it's not going to do that. So what that means is it's going to be more effective for you. It's going to work throughout your entire body and work as it's designed to work. So I realized that this was the cleanest product. I liked the research behind the guy who developed it, that we get it from. And I really liked that it was pure and that it was potent. And then when I tried it, that did it for me. I knew it worked. It's very good, very high quality, but also, and this is another big deal for the people that buy it from me, it's at a very, very good price point. So we have a very high quality product that's at a fair and reasonable price. And so that's the holy grail for me as far as what I can offer for other people. And just briefly, I want to say, my story is not the only one. I encourage all of us that are team members together to not just try to sell the product. I think it's important for us to tell people the stories and share the stories and experience of people who have had very good results. I can tell you, everybody that I have personally worked with, I can't think of anybody that CBD didn't help, and I've worked with a lot of people. And the tinctures are incredible, but this is the one product which you can't really see very well because of the light. This is our roll-on, the topical CBD. This is my most popular product. Every person who purchases this reorders, everyone. And so, yeah, you want to get this. So the neat thing about this is we don't just offer the tinctures in this by themselves. They come in a combo pack. So you can get both of them. Again, high quality products at a fair and reasonable price, and they're at a good price when they're in that combo thing. Yes, and we have the caramels. We even have CBD candy. Nanny Nanny Boo Boo. Who else has that?
Karen, I didn't know much about CBD before we met in our former company. And I just believe that all things happen for a reason, and we were there to meet each other, right?
Yes,
That's
ma'am.
what I believe. And I did try using that product in that company, and I just couldn't understand why I literally was using something that cost more. It was supposed to have been stronger based on the milligrams. I believe that one was like 7,000 milligrams, and it was more expensive. And I was using like two, three, and four dropperfuls because even after a month, it wasn't doing anything for me. Like I wasn't getting the relief from anything, from any of the pain that I had, started feeling or whatever. And I know most of you know that I had a really bad fall, like a really bad fall. And I was even using, they did have a cream as well. I was using the cream, I was buying the oil, and I just kept saying, well, maybe I just need to keep taking it. But after like 3 months, I'm thinking like something should give here, to the point where I wanted to then go to a dispensary to get something stronger
Yeah.
because I was in so much pain and I did not want to be a zombie from medication,
Yeah.
and what I find is that, you know, I was ignorant to CBD. I was ignorant to it, but I started to get a little more education in our former company. But then when we launched this particular company, when we were all together in Houston in April, I immediately bought it. And honestly, I just in my mind, like, yeah, whatever. The other one didn't work, but I'm gonna buy it because it's part of our new product brand, right? Product line.
Right.
So I bought it. But I believe her name is it Melissa? She's on your team. She
Hmm.
was on a walker,
Yeah.
and she went to the bathroom. Because when we were able to get these that night, she went to the bathroom, came back in the room, and she's crying, like just crying, standing there. And I'm not going, I ran over because I wanted to make sure she was okay, that maybe she didn't fall or anything like that. And she went in with a walker. She wasn't with the walker when she came back out. And she's crying because she said, I can't remember the last time I was able to walk without pain. And she went in the bathroom and she used the roll on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
After her story, I ran up to the front, got my roll on out my bag, and started rubbing it all up and down my side because people didn't even know that I was in as much pain as I had been. And I wasn't telling anybody how much pain I was in. So
Yeah.
I can vouch for it that this works immediately. Like,
It does.
it's not going to be something that's going to last you 2 days or 24 full hours, but it works immediately. It
Yeah.
doesn't numb the pain, it like takes it away. And
Yeah.
not only the pain, Karen, but I rub it on my shoulders before I go to the gym. If I'm feeling like just some like tension in my neck, I rub it on, right? If
Yeah.
I got a mosquito bite, I rub this on.
Yeah.
I rub it on, like anything that's going on. And I will tell you, Karen, that I started the CBD that night very reluctantly because I had tried the other expensive stuff that didn't do anything for me. But I said, I listened to your testimonies. I listened to you all break down why this was better. And I was thinking to myself, well, I don't know. I mean, it's cheaper. Is it really better? If it's cheaper, that's where my brain went.
Yeah.
Um, and I was patient with the process because you, Karen V, Amy Clark, all of the ladies that were there that night said, Erica was on stage with you all, with them that night, and they said you have to trust the process. You have to use this every day. This is not gonna just be some cure all tomorrow, or it could. Or it could. See, because it works differently for everybody.
Yeah.
All I could tell you is what I did was took my mind off of the result. I just was like, let me just let this work. Right. And I knew that the roll on was working to really help to aid with that sciatica pain that I was dealing with from my fall.
Yeah.
And all I know is one day in the middle of May, I thought about it. Like, wait a minute. I haven't had any sciatica pain.
Yeah.
And so can you explain Why? Because I know you all explained it very in depth, and then just let me know when you got to go on. We won't hold you hostage
Okay.
on that.
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. Yeah.
But I
My
know,
sister's here, so she's
okay,
got the tamales going for everybody, so I'm good.
literally, I keep this printed out, like all of the many benefits, because I can't even believe, like behavior problems, psoriasis, blood sugar, reducing inflammation, anxiety, digestive disorders, right?
Yeah,
Muscle spasms, um, psychosis, the nervous system, cancer cell growth, and all those things that we don't make any medical claims about. We
right.
just know that these are the benefits of CBD. So I
Yeah,
keep that posted so I can see it. But I know that you all said that it may not just work overnight for
right.
some. Can you address why we might think we're taking it for one thing, but okay, can you address that?
Sure, sure. And with CBD, and I tell everybody the most important thing to do whenever you're using the tinctures. Now, the roll on, it is instant gratification. You're going to roll it on. I carry this in my purse, and people use it, and then they look at me
Me
shocked
too.
after a couple of minutes, and they're like, "I'm not hurting," And that, like I said, this is the bomb diggity here. But the tinctures, uh, it's not something that necessarily will happen immediately. People will, everybody's different. It depends on what your issue is. And it also depends on your metabolism. Like I said, we're all different. But because it works on a cellular level and because it has to work on those receptors in your body with your endocannabinoid system, you have to give it time and you have to be consistent. It's very important that people take it twice a day, every day. If you need a little extra, you can take it 3 times a day, but you have to make sure that you take it at least twice a day to keep it in your system to allow the process to begin to level out. And it make sure that you stay on it. I tell people make sure you take at least a full bottle before you make your mind up because it never fails. What happens is at first you'll think, well, do I feel any different? Can I tell any difference? Is this working? And then, after a couple of days, you're going to notice some things like, I'm not feeling like moody like I normally do. Or, I'm not having as many hot flashes as I used to. Wow, I slept all night last night. And then you realize you might stand up without, you know how you get, if you're achy, and especially if you're my age, if you have any type of problems with your joints, you'll sit on the edge of the bed in the morning and kind of make sure everything's all woken up, and you kind of rock a little bit before you stand up, and then you got to stand up and make sure everything's just right before you take a step. I will never forget the first time I actually stood up out of bed and started walking, and I thought, oh, wow, I hadn't done that in a long time. And so little things like that happen gradually. Most people will begin to notice a significant difference within 2 to 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And there are some people that are like, I really can't tell if it's helping me or not. You know what I tell those people? Stop taking it.
Wait till you run out.
Stop taking it. That's when you find out how good it works because then it all comes back and they're like, I need more. How fast can you get me another bottle? But just really quickly, I want to tell the stories of just a couple of people that I personally know and how it's helped them. Okay, one lady, she's been a lifelong friend of mine. She had problems with nervousness and she couldn't sleep. She was very just wound up tighter than a fiddle string. And so she was like, can it help me? I tell her, I answer that question the same for everybody. I don't know, but the only way you're going to find out is to try. So let's try it and see. So she started taking it. She did notice that she wasn't feeling as nervous. She was sleeping better. She didn't feel as stressed out. But then she called me a couple of weeks later and she said, you're not going to believe this. And I don't know if it's the CBD that's doing this or what, but I have had problems with my gut. I've always had a nervous stomach since I was in grade school. I have never been regular. I've had issues with my bowel movements since I was in grade school. That has not happened for 2 weeks.
Mm.
And I said, it's the CBD. And it
Mm.
was. Okay. Another friend of mine had a granddaughter that had a condition that a lot of little kids, we hear about it a lot now. And she was nonverbal. She was 4 years old.
Mm.
And after starting to take it, she reached out to me a couple of weeks after she started to take it because she asked the same thing, will this help her? I don't know, but it's safe. By the way, CBD is safe from the womb to the tomb. Anybody at any age can take it. Uh, I said, let's give it a try and see. It's not going to hurt to try. So she started giving it to her, and not only did she seem to be better as far as her mood being leveled out, she called me one night and said, "You're not going to believe what happened." All of a sudden, she started pointing to things and naming them, and she told them that she loved them. That was the first thing that she said is "I love you."
Mm.
And I'm sorry that was not a coincidence because she's not the only one we've heard that from.
No,
And
she.
that's not saying it's a guarantee that that's going to happen, but that's an example of how it can work. And so many times that happens, and that's my favorite part about my job. My very favorite part about what I do, and I get chill bumps when I think about it because that's my payback. The money is nice, but it doesn't even compare to when you have somebody call you and you know that you've changed somebody's life. Somebody called me one night and said, "You don't know me, but I was given your phone number." I have a hard time not tearing up on this one, but she said, my husband, he had the big C word, and she said, he's got stage 4, and will this help him? And I said, I think in his situation, I don't think it's going to, cure him. It's not a cure. But I said, is he having trouble eating? Yes. Is he in pain? Yes. Is he anxious? And I'm sorry if you're in that situation and you're not anxious, something's wrong with you. And she said, yes. And I said, is he sleeping well? No. And I said, okay, that's what it can help him with.
Mm.
And it was my honor to be able to say that I was able to provide something for him that helped him to transition. And he didn't have to be on so many prescription medications. And so, that again, it goes back to that responsibility of helping people. When you realize you have the power to impact the quality of people's lives, even if they're on their way out,
Mm.
that's a big thing.
Of
So,
course.
yeah, if you want to know if I believe in CBD, if you want to know if I believe if it works, do you want to know if I think it will work for you and if it's worth it to try it? Yes, yes, yes. Get with the person that sent you to watch this video, who shared this with you. Get in touch with them right now and say, I want to try a bottle and I want some of that stuff that works immediately too.
Because it honestly is really better for them to get the combo. It's more cost
Yes,
effective. It just
yes,
really is more cost effective. And that is why, a lot of my clients, Karen, when they purchase this combo, I often will give them a pack of Drink to Shrink, because if there's pain, there's inflammation. And I also know that the Drink to Shrink detoxing while you're trying to get rid of, that inflammation and pain is so vital as well. So
yeah,
I've been giving people, like, you know what, you buy the combo, I'm going to give you a gift, and I'm going to
yeah,
give you and what I feel like I'm giving people is just the gift of life,
yes,
because to know that I could not sleep, and we're gonna bring her on when you get off to talk
okay,
about the pain that she was having even in her shoulder. She couldn't barely get out the bed, and the quality of life that I have. I kept saying I can't be 51 and can't walk and can't
I know,
move.
yeah, I know.
I couldn't lay on the mattress. My left side, if my buttocks hit the mattress, it sent this pain down to the bottom of my feet from the sciatica. And I tell you, I kept saying to myself, God, am I doomed to be with this pain for the rest of my life? Like,
Yeah,
I don't want to be in this kind of pain for the rest of my life. And I don't want to be addicted to pain meds. And I don't want to be, walking around like a zombie. I have a whole life ahead of me. And I didn't want to feel that way. And so I am so grateful that not only do I use the CBD, my husband uses the CBD, our 9-year-old daughter uses the CBD, and our dog uses the CBD. Okay.
yes,
And everyone, this is a CBD household because we understand the value of it. We got educated instead of operating out of ignorance, because that's knowledge about it, right? But I'm a church girl,
Right.
so I was like, I can't use that. I'm gonna get, I've never done any kind of drugs or anything like that. And I am so grateful that I listened to everything that you ladies, I mean, had it not been for you and Karen B and Amy and Erica and Jo and Jackie and your entire team, we would still, and Elizabeth, right? Especially her story. And
Yeah.
it is because of Amy Clark's story about her son and your story about your friend's 4-year-old as to why we started allowing Paige to use the CBD. And we didn't know how long it was going to take to kick in. So we started her at the end of the school year in May because
Yeah.
Paige was not doing well in school. She was
Yeah.
experiencing social anxiety. She was experiencing study anxiety, meaning when it went time to go take those tests, she was like freezing up. She wasn't retaining the information. And all I could tell you is we watched our daughter go from D's and F's last year, barely passing. She passed. Thank God by the end of the year, but it was strenuous just trying to get her to pass the classes,
Yeah.
and she thankfully passed. But this year, A's, B's, C's. If she bring home a D, we don't even care. We
Yeah.
we don't even care because the average of her grades are triple times better than what they were last year. And so
Yeah.
I am just so grateful that I have everything. I have the caramels. I mean, I even send out caramels to people when they make the purchase, but I also have the thing that is a little stronger for the people that do need something that is a little stronger. So we
Yeah.
do have something for all of you that maybe there are some other medical things that are going on and you need something that's a little stronger because maybe this isn't enough,
Yeah.
right? Maybe you have anxiety when you fly.
Hmm.
Maybe you have a lot of pain and there's some medical things going on that you may need something a little stronger. And y'all stay tuned because I'm going to run a big promo for this that's going to start at midnight, so y'all stay tuned. But Karen, I know you have family. We don't want to hold you. We want to thank you for lending your expertise because you are always amazing, and we'll see you next time. Thank you
Well,
so
and let me just say
much.
something really quick
Please.
because we got to talk Dan and our CEO into doing this. Okay, this right here needs to be a reset pack because when you take CBD oil and you begin to get rid of the inflammation, what that is, it's a process of detoxification. Sometimes you will feel a little bit worse before you feel better because your body's trying to get rid of the toxins. And so if you combine this with our detox tea, magic happens. So anyway, just wanted to say that. Thank you so much for inviting
Thank
me
you
to
for thank
here.
you for being on.
I
Thank
love you
you.
gals, and I always love visiting with y'all. And like I said, we're all here to help you. So the people that are out here listening, let us help. Please
Yeah,
let us help.
that was amazing. Thank you so much. All right. So y'all heard it right from the best. I mean, Tedra, does she know her stuff or what? You got to unmute yourself.
She knows her stuff. Like I was over here, like woo, being drawn in because the more
Yeah, you were breaking up a
you can
little
hear
bit.
me.
Yeah, we can hear you. It was just breaking up a
Oh, I
little bit.
said yeah. Oh, okay. I say yes, she knows her stuff. And the more I was hearing her talk, even though I've heard it so many times before, it was bringing back to remembrance like all of the things. It helped me to remember, like it helped me in one area, but it helped you to really realize it's helping in so many other areas as well that you really don't initially think about. Because when you have pain, you're just trying to get rid of the pain that is big for you, not realizing that there's so many other things going on that is really helping your body with. So she gave a lot of enlightenment and helped me think about even some other people in situations that I know, wow, this person could use it and that person could use it, just knowing different people's stories.
I thought it was important to bring you on because I know that you're using the CBD oil and the roll on like myself. You, Trey, are using it as well. I know Trey, it's helping him tremendously. He had a fall at work and he was really experiencing some pain. So I know that this has been a godsend for the both of you. But one of the reasons why I also wanted to have you on here because I believe that we really need to educate African Americans and Latinos, minorities, right? We need to educate, be well educated, because we're operating out of ignorance, because we don't know. We don't, and
Yes.
we think we know, but we don't know. We don't know. And then the fact that, we're so afraid of, oh, I don't want to give nobody my credit card. We'll go and order from Macy's, though. We'll go and order Beyonce tickets online. We'll go and order movie tickets. We'll use our credit cards to go to Disney and pump at the gas. And actually, that's one of the most dangerous places to use your card. And we'll do all of those things. But I don't want to put my credit card in. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. And we're really at this point just asking the simple question: do you care about your health? We're asking the simple question: aren't you ready to live a quality of life? We're asking the simple question: do you want to live for your children and your family, or do you want to die for them? And not only do you want to live, but what quality of life do you want to have while you're living? I mean, we allow the doctors to give us all kinds of stuff. And I'm not speaking against doctors, because we need them. They're necessary, right? But we'll believe in all of that stuff that doesn't heal us. I tried everything for my sciatica, and nothing, I mean, Tedra, nothing was working. And you were there. You saw how much pain I was in. You, Marguerite, Sean, y'all all saw how bad I couldn't eat. I was in so much pain when I came to Philly that Thanksgiving. I couldn't even talk. Like,
Yes, it was bad.
I couldn't even talk. It had gotten
It was
so
bad.
bad. So, Tedra, you started using this product. Can you tell everybody why you started using
Okay.
this product?
Well, good evening, everybody. And thank you, Mrs. Moore, for having me on here. So glad to be here. And I definitely appreciate Karen, like I said, because every time she talks about it, it's just so good to know that there is something natural that we can use to actually help heal the body, okay? Because the body will heal itself when it has what it needs, okay? So I absolutely love it. But when I found out about these amazing products, I was super excited, because a couple years back, when we were coming back from bringing our daughter home from college, who's now graduated, we were in a bad car accident. So following that car accident, I had right shoulder pain uncontrollably. But most people didn't know, because I'm not one to complain. I just keep pressing through. Only people who were close to me actually knew I was experiencing pain. So much to the point that even in the morning, which is something that we all take for granted, just being able to roll out of bed was hard for me, because my whole right side, I was not able to lean on it. So by nature, when you sleep that way, naturally, that's just the side I tend to sleep on. Imagine having to be able to alter everything you're doing when you go to bed at night. I would have to like lay on the opposite side, or be careful if I rolled a certain way. So when I found about these two amazing products, I said, listen, I don't care. I couldn't care less about the price. I was just like, listen, everybody's saying it's working, it's giving relief. Let me have some of that. So I started using the roll-on at first, this amazing roll-on. And I'm going to tell you all, no sooner, it wasn't even like 5 minutes, literally, after I rubbed it on my shoulder, like just all around, the pain just dissipated. It was like gone. I couldn't even believe it. Like I keep saying to myself, I kept saying, is this really real? Because my husband said to me, how do you feel? And I was like, I'm not feeling anything. This feels amazing. I couldn't believe it. After being in pain for years, I had went to therapy. They ran all kinds of tests. They told me I didn't need surgery. It was just something I was going to have to work itself through. But it started with this. And then I believe, Nina, you were talking about how it was helping you with your sciatica. So I started to incorporate the tinctures, the drops. And what I noticed is that the drops really do have to get in your system. And so many times people will say, well, I don't know if it's working. Okay. I promise you it's working. Okay. Because I put these products to the test. All right. Literally, I stopped using the drops and will only use the roll-on like when I was in a lot of pain. And it immediately tells on itself. You know that you need this as the keep you going type of product. So it needs to stay in your system, and you realize it's helping you with other things. So much so is that I still work a full-time job and I have a stressful full-time job. So I notice when I utilize the drops in the morning before I start my day, I have a much better day. So I don't go without these. Like in the morning, I make sure I take them so that it doesn't impact me in a different way, because like Karen was explaining, there's things going on in our bodies or things that affect us that we may not even really have that impact. So I'm grateful for these, for what it's doing. And this is just a winning combination, so much so that I know, because I've been using these consistently, the drops, right? That I don't have to use the roll on every day like that. I'll use the roll on like maybe if something's really tweaking me, or like if I come home from the gym and I'm sore, need to come
Right.
home from working out, you're
Right.
sore, or maybe I'm a little sore from a day before, I roll it on, but I'm not using it as much, because this is what you really need to get into your body to feed those different systems that Karen was talking about. So what I tell people, yes, this is good. It's very good, but it's topical. It's helping you, and it does get into your system for the immediate pain. But if you want real relief, you need the combination. You have to incorporate these and use them on a regular basis along with the caramels. Yes, ma'am, because I go for those too. So much so that our 12-year-old goddaughter uses the caramels. Amazing. Okay.
Y'all can only get
And
these from us. Look, y'all can
yes,
only get these from us. They are not in our back office right now. So you will be fortunate if you can find one of us that
I
has
got
some.
some.
I have a ton. Me and
Me
Tedra have a
too.
ton of these, as well as if you just need something a little stronger. We
Yes.
have that too. And I mean, stay tuned, because I
Yes.
got something for y'all. Okay. I got
Yes.
something for y'all. Tedra and I have been talking all weekend long about
Yes, we have.
what we really need to do to help you guys to feel better. And
Right.
Tedra, what I've learned just is that when you're in pain, you're not at your working at your optimal
You're not at your peak.
ability. You're not at your peak because you're
Exactly.
in pain.
Yep.
You're in pain,
Yes, that's so
and there's
true.
no way. So even our dog is using the CBD, and now we've got 2 new flavors of our CBD: the natural
Yes.
flavor, which has no flavor, which means you could put it in your coffee, you could put it on your skin, in your skincare. Let me tell y'all something. I don't know about you, but if the CBD helps with inflammation, the CBD helps with psoriasis, the CBD antibacterial, the CBD helps with all of that stuff. When I get that natural CBD, I'm going to be
Oh, I
putting it
can't
in
wait.
my serum for my
Yes,
face. I'm going to be using it in my serum and
absolutely.
my moisturizer for my face, because the CBD is not going to have any flavor or smell to it, right? So we've got the natural flavor that launched.
Exactly.
Which we will be giving it to our dog as well, because it'll be a little stronger for her, because she does get anxiety when it's storming, thunderstorms, and fireworks. And if she is really loud motorcycles. But this right here, again, no THC. Now, do we have a CBD with THC? We do. We do have a full spectrum, but honestly, Petra, I bought it, but all my bottles are still sitting right. I don't even need the full spectrum. I've not had to use it.
You know
But
what? And most people don't, because I have customers that really love like the tincture, the broad, and the roll on. And then when you couple that with our drink to shrink, like we've been teaching, where there's pain, there's inflammation, they're good. Like they don't even need, and these are people that suffering with like rheumatoid arthritis all up and down their back. I have countless stories like Karen of people who just are super excited and grateful. I mean, I sold some at church today, not to be, because people want what we have and they need it. And they are in pain. They just need to know that something is possible. And if I could add this, if you don't mind, especially like for our culture, let's just be honest. We are so used to, like you said, not believing that there's something else that can be used. We frown up our faces before we even try. I just want to encourage anybody who's dealing with these things, give it a try. Do it for a good 30 days. Get you the full combo Do it for 30 days. And I guarantee you, you will feel a big difference. You'll feel this immediately. But if you couple it with this, you're going to see a huge difference and you're going to feel better, not just from the pain you're experiencing, but just in your overall body function as a whole. It's going to make a difference.
Well, Tedra, we're going to leave them with this. This combo normally sells for $150. But listen, it is Martin Luther King's weekend, right? It's MLK weekend. And, we want you all to be not just free, but we want you to be free of pain.
Yes.
All right. Free of pain. And so I know a lot of our teammates, all of us have decided, several of us have had conversations over the last few days, and you would normally have to spend $40 on your drink to shrink and $150 on this, but we're doing $125. We're doing $125, and you're going to get a pack of drink to shrink. All right. Until midnight tomorrow. So $125 is going to get you the combo and a pack of drink to shrink until midnight tomorrow. Now, listen, I can't tell you if who you reach out to is gonna say, "Yup, I'm doing it too." I just know Tedra and I are. I know Alicia said she was. I know Sean was like, "I'm in," right? Because we know what it's like to be in pain. All right, we know what it's like, and if there is pain, there is inflammation. All right. That's what we want you to know. If there's pain, there's inflammation, and you don't have to be in pain. You don't have to be in pain. And so I don't know about y'all, but you got until 12 midnight tomorrow, right? 11:59 p.m. tomorrow. Nichelle said, "Yep, I'm going to do the same for my clients as well." Tracy said, "I'm in for my clients as well." You can get this combo right here would normally cost you almost $200. But here's what's even going to be even sweeter, y'all. I'm going to throw in a few pieces of my caramels.
Me too.
There is, look, and Tara said, "I'm in too." Listen, let me tell y'all something. These caramels are so good. Again, no THC. They're 100 milligrams. Keep them in your pocketbook so that if you just need something, right? You just need something. They will, Beverly. We don't know when, but stay tuned. That's all I'm gonna tell you, right? I know that our CEO said there's so much stuff get ready to happen for conference. Oh my God. So all I know is, let me tell you, however, Beverly, if you need these, you can get them from me. Okay, Bev, I got you. And I'm even, listen, y'all are not, Tedra, I know you said, Nina,
listen, how about are you throwing in these?
I just might give them a patch too.
I'm gonna throw them a patch or two with mine.
Yeah, I might throw them a patch or two too, but they only for the people who are like, "I'm doing this before by midnight tomorrow," right?
Yes.
So maybe the first 5 people to purchase from us, they might even get some patches too. Okay, because the patches are amazing. Put them on your body, and they're literally going to take your pain away. But let me tell y'all something. Now, everybody know how we feel about our D9s, right? We sell these D9s for $75 a bag. $75 a bag. Tomorrow, from now until 11:59 tomorrow night, these are the D9. These have THC. You'll get 3 for $125. If you want just the CBD caramels, you can get 3 bags for $125 until 11:59 tomorrow. All right. So you can go any way you want. The D9s are stronger. They do have THC. If you get tested at work, you don't ask for the D9s. All right. And I actually have the gummies, and I have a couple of the caramels left as well. Yeah, it's a deal. All right. So you will get 3 for $125, and I'm not even going to charge you shipping. I did not tell Paul, so don't tell him yet. Okay. But only, you better run. You better hurry. Right. And then 3 of the caramels until for $125. That is a steal. A steal.
Y'all better come on and get this.
Okay? Because there's normally $75 a pop. You do the math times 3. Okay? Look, Trey said, wait a minute, that's crazy. But you know what, Trey? Let me tell you why.
235. But listen,
Yeah.
he's good with it. You know he's good with
But
it.
let me tell you why I know he is. Because because we care about people for real. But
Yes.
I know what it's like to be in pain. And I know what it was like from November until April. When I was in so much pain, there were some nights, Tangeli, that I was crying. I was like ready to cry. All right. So listen, y'all don't have to be in pain. You want to be free from pain? This is your promo. All right. This is your promo. And you're going to be singing free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, I'm free at last. Now, one last thing before we go, Tedra, because I'm so glad that you jumped on with me, right?
Yes.
We have a freedom call tomorrow
Yes.
at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the link for that call, they just sent it to me. The link for that call will be www.xitpresentation.com. All right. And www.xitpresentation.com. All right. We are doing a presentation at 12 Eastern, 4 Eastern, 9 Eastern, right? To show you all how to not just be free of pain, but be free in your finances as well. We're not telling you to quit your job. All we're telling you right now is, I don't know if you don't know, but an extra $500 a month, an extra $1,000 a month, an extra $500 a week, right? An extra $100 a day, that's $3,000 a month. I know what that would do for the average household. I don't know about you, but why not get paid to not be in pain? Like, that's almost like a no-brainer. But here's the deal. The call that we're doing tomorrow at noon is for very specific people. All right. This call is not going to be for everybody. This call is going to be for very specific people, because we're launching our Project 10K, where we're looking to put 10,000 new people in our organization, in our team, within the next, it's not 90 days anymore, because we're actually on day 13 of 90 right now. So in the next, what is that? 77 days left.
Yes.
We got 77 days left to expand this team by 10,000 people. Project 10K. And if you want to be a part of a movement, because the last time, Tedra, that we launched with this particular product in a 7-year-old baby company, all right? See, but 7 years, that means the company has stood the test of time. We did $47 million in sales last year, right? And the very last time, Tedra, Alicia, Sonia, Trey, Tara, right, Jack, the last time we ran this play, and the last time we launched with an amazing product like what we've got, I know I earned $500,000 in 18 months. I know, Tedra, you were able to put your daughter in college, and pay for everything and not have to stress and buy her a car and all kinds of stuff. And I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Will you be a part of Project 10K? I don't know about you, but I know not just freedom of your pain, but let's talk about freedom of your finances, and something that you could be a part of and be proud to be a part of, because, multiple streams of income, they're no longer a luxury, but they are a necessity. And if anything more, here's the deal. Just like you can't sleep because you're in pain, just like that intimacy is like out the window because you've been in pain, just like that you can barely function, can't get out the car, can't go up and down the steps because you in pain, some other people that are just that same way. What if you joined just so that we can show you how to get your products for free, by sharing this opportunity with other people for them to become your customers? Because I want you to think about all those people that in pain. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to get back to the person that invited you to see this information, right? We've got some amazing promos that we're running right now on Freedom Day, right? For Freedom Day. And then we've got the Freedom Call at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll be hosting that call. Then Rosin Hall will be hosting the 4 o'clock call. And then Twyla Portis herself will be hosting the 9 p.m. Freedom Call. We're going to let freedom ring. All right. And we're going to ring it loud, you guys, because the days of being broke, the days of being strapped, the days of going from paycheck to paycheck, the days of being in pain, the days of not being able to lose weight, the days of being tired, broke, busted, and disgusted, robbing Peter to pay Paul are over. They're over. That does
Over.
not have to be your story for 2024. So we're so grateful that you joined us tonight. Make sure you get back to the person that invited you and get your promo. We got the ultimate pain combo, right? With this here, you're going to get this pack of drink to shrink, because where there's inflammation, there's pain. You guys, I told you we might even throw in a couple of patches, right? For the first 5 people that go ahead. And here's the deal. You can get your 3 bags of your D9. What did we say? 125. 125 for the pain combos. You can do 3 bags of the caramels. Same thing, 125. And just until midnight tomorrow, 11:59. Yes, the calls are in Eastern Standard Time. And just until 11:59. 11:59 tomorrow. And yeah, I bumped my head on that one. I probably spoke a little too soon, but you know what? It's okay. We care about you guys, and we care about your quality of life, and we want you to feel better. All right. So get these deals. Yeah, because Paul gonna be like, what the heck? But you know what? He cares about people too. Trey as well. Alicia. We got so many people on our team saying they're running these promos as well. And you know what? If you're saying, well, I really want to do all of those things, but I just can't do it. Ask us. Don't be afraid to reach out so we can show you how you can still get your products. Many of us offer split pay options, okay? Where you can buy it now and take your products now, and you'll pay it off in 4 installments, okay? And most of us take Afterpay, right? Most of us can send you an invoice, and if you already have Affirm, Klarna, Sezzle, ZipPay, Afterpay, any of those things, you can use your virtual card and you can pay the invoice. All right. So where there's a will, there's a way. You just have got to have the will. Good night, you guys, and God bless you all. We'll see you on the Freedom Call at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and get your freedom packs today. All right. Bye now. Bye.